Good morning. And the first thing I'd like to say is the smell is absolutely unreal. Oh, can you get high off garlic? I've come back to the same woods I was at last year and try and get a couple of different images. I think I've actually come back at peak period. Oh, we've got a little bit of a breeze and it's still quite dark in here. It's about 6 o'clock. Sunrise was an hour ago. The cloud cover is really thick, so we're not going to get any light. I just don't know where to start. There's little paths all the way through here. And I'm just kind of going, oh, I don't know what to shoot first. So I'm going to just go back along this little bit here. And the first two bits of this video were shot using the Hohem iSteady V2. And I think it worked quite well. So first time out of the box with it. I'm trying not to crush any garlic. There's a little bit of a path here. I remember this from last year and it wasn't anywhere near as thick as this. Oh, I just want to get down here a little bit. And then what I find quite useful, oh, where have you gone? What I find quite useful is to take a walk and see what a composition looks like from one direction and then turn around and do it in the opposite direction just to see. And I think this particular path might work better from where I just was over there. Smell. I wish we had smell-o-vision on videos. And until I get the video footage on the big screen, it does seem to be a little bit smoother than the OM5. I find that the OM5 is a bit juddery. Sometimes it comes across on video and sometimes it doesn't. Let me just turn around and have a look around there. See, there's all these little paths, and they really are little paths. Now, we have had rain this morning, and I was hoping that would put a bit of a sheen. Oh, I remember shooting that last year on the leaves, but although the roads are slightly damp, it doesn't seem to have hit in the woods. So I'm just going to carry on walking. This wild garlic is phenomenal compared with last year. It really is. Is it following me? It is. It's way better than last year. Way better. Right, I'm going to shut up waffling and go find myself some composition. I've just realised that first little bit of recording I did without the light on. I turned the AI on. I forgot to turn the light on. So I've now got the light on full power. Excuse me looking down all the time. I'm trying not to fall over tree trunks. So I've now got the light on full power, and it is very dark in these woods. I'm hoping that I'm getting slightly illuminated. I've come on to my first composition, excuse me, which I'm not 100% struck on, but I know there's an image here somewhere. I just need to fine tune it. I'll pop you around. I've got to turn the tracking off first. There we go. Now I can't see what I'm pointing you at, but we've got this beautiful clump of garlic here, a very slight path through the middle, and then a path leading off into the distance between these two trees. So I've shot a far, oh, how do you say it? I've zoomed out so that I've got all of the trees in and a bit of wild garlic on either side, and then I've zoomed in slightly in portrait mode so that I've just got a little bit of those trees framing this patch of wild garlic and then the path leading through and up into the distance, and I've got that bank of wild garlic there. I'm not 100% convinced on that. Turn your back round. Put my tracking on. I've got the light on full power because, as I say, it is the tree canopy here is amazingly thick. I'm not sure if these are beech, birch or ash. I think there's a couple of oak trees thrown in for good measure. Looking at those leaves, I'd say they're beech trees, but it's a really heavy canopy. I've got ISO 200 because it's dark. White balance is on 5880, and the only filter I have on is the polarizer, and that's just to make the greens pop. And I've tried the polarizer on and off. It does make a difference. It's very, very subtle. But yes, I think for a first, oh, excuse me, my knees don't like that. For a first composition that's not the same composition that I tried last time, I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to have a wander down this little slopey here and wend my way through this little cut through, sort of a little bit of a, almost like a little miniature valley, and see what I can find down there. They're beech trees, they're young beech trees. I don't think there's any silver birch in here. I could stay here and listen to this bird song all day. It's wonderful. In between the planes going over. They kind of add to the ambience. Right, I'm going to load everything up and take a wander down that way. Now I've not walked far, probably about 100 yards, and I've come across another little scene, a more intimate scene, which attracted me. We've got a fallen tree trunk coming in from the left of the image. We have got a fallen tree trunk going through the image, excuse me. I shouldn't talk with my hands because it turns the AI off. And I've got this lovely clump of wild garlic here. Now the only thing that spoils it is this little clump here and this one here. You can eat this wild garlic, so I shouldn't really have a problem with picking it, but I don't want to, so I'll probably just clone that bit out. Now I'm not shooting on too small an aperture. I'm at, I think it was either f9 or f10. I'm very, very low down on the tripod, and I've got the tree trunk at the bottom coming in from the left hand side, moving through the image, and it takes you through to this massive bank of wild garlic on the right hand side, and there's a bit of a path going through as well. I have the polarizer on just to bring out the greens and the whites, and I think I was on about a quarter of a second, something like that, but I wanted a bit of light on this, so I tried, excuse me, with my little reflector, this one, but I couldn't position it because there is no overhead light coming in. It was really difficult to get some light, so I ended up using the flashlight on my mobile, just illuminating these very slightly, and then turn, by illuminating that, it helps to darken down the background, if that makes sense. I quite like that one. I've been looking for an image like this where I just had a clump of wild garlic with a darker background, and I think that will process up quite nicely because these are a really rich green colour, and I'm hoping the combination of the bit of light on it with the flashlight and the polarizer, that'll really help make those greens pop. Right, onwards and upwards, let's go find something else. I really could spend all day here. I found another composition, and I think I remember trying to shoot this last year, only I believe last year this tree stump, I think there was another part to it. Bizarre. Anyway, I digress, and I'm trying not to wave my hands around too much in case I turn the AI off. I've set up right back there, slightly over to the right hand side of this path, and I have this tree stump coming in bottom right hand corner. It doesn't quite lead you into the path because it's pointing that way. Artistic license maybe. And then I have this wild garlic here, and I have the path leading through, and this mass of garlic on both sides, which works perfectly. I've reduced the ISO back down to 100 because we are now getting a bit of it's light, but it's not beautiful light, it's just slightly brighter. So I don't need the ISO down up at 200. I'm at f7.1 and I think I was at 1/25 of a second. Using the polarizer, it darkens down this pathway, and that'll get darkened a bit more with a bit of dodging and burning in post-processing. I shall possibly do a bit of dodging on the whites just to really lift them, and the polarizer, as well as darkening this pathway, darkens the green on the leaves. So I think I'm quite pleased with that one. I think I'm going to call it a day there. There's another wood the other side of the road which I'm going to go and have a wander down. I took you there last year and it's got that really wiggly path, but there was not sufficient wild garlic last year to make any images. Judging by how much is here this year, and it's far better than last year, I might get away with it this year. We're going to go and have a look. But if you don't see me down there, thanks for watching. I'm sure I'll be back at the coast at some point. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye for now. I've come over into the other woods. Tune in next weekend.